Hello and welcome to another video. Hi, hello. If you're new here, my name is Laura and I like to romanticize my life while I go through grad school, recently being diagnosed with ADHD, and while I return to my hobbies that I had dropped due to ADHD burnout. Okay, so I barely posted in February, and I had a whole February wrap-up video literally ready to import to download onto youtube.com, and shit happened, so that video is non-existent. So there is no February reading wrap-up, and I'm not going to talk about it. I am sick and tired. I did read a bunch of pretty cool books. I am currently working through Clarice Lispector's work, and I finished Near to the Wild Heart and The Passion According to G.H. Loved them, and now I'm on to Hour of the Star. And yeah, so as for a thesis update, I turned in and got approved for my format, my thesis format, which is one of two big milestone moments or deadlines to complete your thesis portion of the MA degree. And the second one is actually turning in the actual thesis, right? So that was a big step. That milestone was a big step. My format got approved, and now the last thing is to actually, turn in my thesis. And I'm so excited. I am so excited. At the moment, today is a Sunday the 3rd, to be clear. I had turned in a draft on the 28th, I think, of February, and I have a meeting with my thesis director on the 8th. So the draft that I turned in recently, I just got back and it barely had any notes, which is very exciting. So I just need to do a little editing on that draft to send it in again for my official meeting on the 8th. Deadline had like 2 turn-in dates type situation because my spring break is coming up, and I would very much like to enjoy my spring break. I don't want to think about school or anything of the like, not even my thesis. Nope, como que si nada está pasando en mi vida, right? So the only thing that I want to work on during my spring break is turning in my thesis to the rest of my thesis committee, and that's about it. So that after my spring break, we could go back on thesis mode. Unfortunately, though, I have to present on one of my class readings, the class right after spring break. So if I don't work some magic around this week and not end up working on that project, then I am gonna have to sacrifice some days of my spring break to work on that project, unfortunately. Anyways, so welcome to March. So as you guys can see, I am doing my night routine skincare, and I have actually been slacking off a little bit on my skincare because executive dysfunction, it's actually, it basically gets to the point that I only wash my face if I'm going out of the house, and even then, if I go to my sister's apartment, I most likely don't actually do anything to my face either. So luckily I have good genes, but my skin is also very red, irritated, and dry. I have oily skin with dry patches because she's dehydrated. So not only am I working on my hydration, I am also working on my skin, and I'm hoping I could get it back to where it used to be, because like I said, I have good genes, but I also was on top of my skincare and everything like that. But then my routine got disrupted to where I barely left the house because of me losing my job. So I didn't really wash my face because of executive dysfunction. So right now, just to like ease my skin back into using all of these products again, I am only fully washing my face at night. Since like for example, all day today I didn't have any makeup on or anything like that. In the morning, I just last night's routine was similar, where I cleansed, toned, used a serum, and moisturized. So in the morning, all I did was wet my face, toned, serum, moisturize, and at night again I cleansed, toned, serum, moisturize, because essentially that's how you, like, that's what you're supposed to do, because in the morning your face is already clean unless you don't wash your sheets, you know. Your face is already clean, so you basically just need to wake up your face and refresh it with water to put on fresh new products. I used to wash my face both in the morning and at night, so I'm trying to see if only splashing my face in the morning would help me like pick up that routine again, and also to not just like shock my face back into using all these products again. So we'll see. Today is technically day 2 of getting back on my skincare, so hopefully I'll be better by the end of the month. Good night. Right, baby? And good night. Yeah. I love you. I love you. Okay, good night. Good afternoon. I'm sorry for the weird lighting, but it is in the afternoon on a gloomy day, and I am trying to get used to the big light because it just gets so dark in here. I am so tired because not only am I on day 2 of my period, but I am also officially done, I think, with my last unofficial draft. I think I'm officially done with my last unofficial draft of my thesis. So today's Tuesday and I have my thesis meeting on Friday. So depending on the feedback that I get from my professor on Friday, then I am basically turning in that draft, or the other one once I fix whatever she gives me the feedback on. I'm basically turning in that draft to the rest of my thesis committee, and if they approve it, or once I've fixed whatever notes they give me, I'm essentially turning it in. So your girl's nervous, but I'm excited. I'm emotionally exhausted. I could honestly tell you that, because emotionally and mentally, because it's like, you know, when things are finally coming close to an end and you've worked so hard on it, and then you just want to turn it in because you're just sick and tired of it. Like, my brain is just going back and forth. And then, like I said, I'm on day 2 of my period and I'm in pain. But that means all I have to do now for the rest of the week and for all of spring break is work on a presentation. My presentation is going to be on this big boy, My Bondage, My Freedom, by Frederick Douglass, edited by David W. Blight. I still don't know what I'm going to do a presentation on. Hopefully I don't know. So I just need to finish reading it, and then I think the presentation just has to be on Scholar Works of like what people talk about this book, what is mostly talked about in this book, I think, something along those lines. It shouldn't be a hard project. It really shouldn't be. What's been really difficult for me at the moment is just reading this. So hello guys. Today I had my monthly psychiatrist appointment. I have these every month, so I don't really like need to talk about them or whatever, but today was very interesting because my doctor was stuck in traffic, so I saw the nurse practitioner and I freaked out. I didn't realize how much that bothered me until when I was catching her up on how I felt and everything like that. I like almost wanted to cry. Once I kind of like let loose and everything like that, everything was fine. She was really sweet and everything like that. And then she was like, so do you want to book back with me, or do you want to go back to your doctor for your next appointment? And I kind of like just like froze and was like, and she kind of like noticed that and was like, you don't have to make me feel bad, like don't worry about it, this is for your safety, this is for you, like you don't have to worry about it, blah blah blah, blah. And she was like trust me, and like this, no hard feelings or anything like that. And basically basically the reason why I reacted like this today is because I have had so much consistency issues when it comes to my psychiatry that I guess that like triggered something in me. Okay, my battery died. Anyways, I don't know where I left off, but yeah, so the reason why I freaked out was because I have had so much consistency issues in the past that I got triggered. But luckily it was just for that one day, or whenever my psychiatrist gets lost or comes late because of traffic issues or whatever. I just thought that was like really funny. Anyways. Yesterday it was actually kind of really cute too, and it made me feel very validated in a sense that my cousin, who is in her first semester of college, texted me and asked if we could go get some coffee or some lunch so she could ask me questions about being an English major and like just the future of whatever that career could lead to. And I thought, first of all, it touched my heart that she asked me. Obviously I'm the only English major in my family, so obviously it would be me, but it's still like, it felt nice that she wants to talk to me and stuff like that. And it's pretty cool that she also wants to study English. So anyways, I can't wait to have that conversation with her. So today I am working on a reflection paper for these last readings that we did. The last paper I did it on the heroic slave, and this time I am doing it on Our Nig by Harriet E. Wilson. And one of the main reasons why I chose this book is because I skipped class that day, so I don't know, I guess I want to show her that like I did do the reading and everything like that. I'm just having a little trouble starting to write this because I mean it's a reflection essay, but I don't really know what to say. Her instructions are a little weirder, I guess. No sé, pero the good thing is that it only needs to be 2 to 3 pages. I am most likely overthinking things. That is what I'm working on for today. Tomorrow is probably one of my last thesis meetings. If not the last, then the second to last. And I'm so nervous slash so excited. I will catch up to you guys on that later.
taking YouTube seriously and a little more consistently back in February 2023, which was the last month that I posted my earnings for and my previous 8,000 at the time that I filmed this. So my channel has grown quite a bit in the past year. Between that time, I posted about 25 videos, which I'm not particularly that a lot of your videos are going to compound over time, so you might not necessarily get to go through.
So I honestly can't remember what I talked about last time I was on camera, but yesterday was actually my last thesis meeting, and I already sent my thesis to the rest of my thesis committee, and now I just have to wait for them to read it, comment on it, and once I fix whatever comments they have, concerns, questions, and everything like that, I turn it in and I'm done. I can't believe we're here. I can't believe it's happening, and my thesis journey is almost over. Just how I'm almost graduating, that is so exciting. Very interesting because a lot of changes are happening in between all of this that is going on, and I'm coping. It's okay, but I am excited to, I guess, finish this chapter, if that's the right way to put it. I don't know. But yeah, my spring break, even though it's Saturday, my spring break has officially started. And while I am working on a project this week, I am going to try to take it slow and not push myself and overwhelm myself because it is spring break. You know, my therapist did, last time we saw each other, which was earlier this week, she basically did just like encourage me to not really look at it as like something special because that would just like overwhelm me in a sense, and I understood what she meant, but I am still going to try to treat it like it's something special. I don't know. I'm still going to be waking up at my same time and I'm still going to be doing the same amount of work, but I'm even contradicting myself, to be honest. I guess the only special thing I'm going to do is I'm going to try to read, oh, I don't have it with me, but I'm going to try to read Bride by Ali Hazelwood. And then once spring break is over, I'm going to go back to just small form books, which would be Clarice Lispector's work. And yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I'm very excited to get back to my werewolf smut. I'm assuming it's smut because I'm assuming it's smut, but yeah, anyway. Okay. Sorry, I had to cut real quick because I had a lot of background noise. Anyways, the very important thesis update is that I finally gave my reading committee my final draft and I'm waiting on their comments. I think that's where I was. Yeah. So I actually got an email back from both professors saying that I will get it by this week when they have until April 5th to give me those comments. So everything is just speeding up and I'm so excited. I am so ready to turn this in and just finally be done with it. And the semester is also slowly coming to an end because technically I'm on my spring break and I'm just so excited. I'm ready. Especially because I've just been so busy with school that I haven't even been able to read. I've just been working on homework, reading for school. I've been reading but for school, right? I haven't had a fun book in a long time. And as soon as, sorry, I have cat hair all over me. The sooner I turn in my thesis, the sooner I can just solely focus on my classwork. And that means that I'll have free time to pick up more books. not just tiny books like I've been reading by Clarice Lispector, and I've been really wanting to start Bride by Ali Hazelwood, especially because of an acquaintance that I know on posted a YouTube video talking about how excited she wants to read and how I was right, and it is very much a werewolf smut, which is my guilty pleasure. So I just really need to get to that. I want to read it already.
Video? Yeah. A celebrity sex tape? They're just keeping it a secret, right? I don't know. There is no evidence of it.
So, hello, good morning. Today is actually the Monday after my spring break, and I've just been really busy with a presentation that I actually have to turn in tomorrow, and it's a little frustrating because I know for a fact it's an ADHD thing, right? So I have been reading our guidelines repeatedly. I have read them so many times, and every time I read them, I get something different out of them, and I am just so confused. And considering that my presentation's tomorrow, it kind of really is too late to talk to my professor about it. The not understanding what exactly I have to do is what I'm saying that it relates to my ADHD, and also, let's be honest, the procrastination. But I think I kind of understand what's going on now, and that is what I'm going to be basically working on today. My stimulants have been working, so I am focused, I am in tuned. And also, so it's a 15-minute speech, and it's a 15-minute speech, and I actually Googled how many words I have to write just so I can have like a ballpark number if like I have to write a whole ass fancy essay, or if it's only like 2 to 3 pages or anything like that. And yeah, it really is only like 3 pages long, maybe 4 or 5. Wow, that really is a difference. But I know that it's something that I can do. And what I actually turn in is going to be just an outline. So really, since I'm technically a slow reader, but because of my nerves, whenever I present something, it is actually kind of fast. So I need to find like a good balance of writing enough to present, but also, I guess, slowing down my speech in a sense. I don't know. And that was like one of the things that I didn't understand. Like, since all I was reading was that I had to turn in an outline, I didn't know if like the outline was going to be what I was reading off of, or if, I don't know, the outline part was confusing me, but it turns out that like the outline is to summarize my speech. So I guess that makes sense. And this presentation, in grad school, right? This presentation is like another way to practice speaking in conferences and everything like that, because the papers that you present in conferences aren't full on essays. The way that you write a speech is completely different than the way that you write a... What did I say? The way that you write a speech is different than the way that you write an essay. So that's what this is supposed to be practicing, and that's, I guess, another one of my issues that I just wasn't understanding, because in my head I'm like, well, what am I memorizing? Am I supposed to write an essay? I am very behind on this work because the executive dysfunction was dysfunctioning. Or the executive function was dysfunctioning. And I finally was like, oh, I have stimulants. So, am I using this vlog entry as a way to distract myself? Yes. So, I gotta get to work.
Hi, baby. I know.
ayudarles con todo lo que yo pueda. Las cosas más grandes pienso que no van a estar.
Ay, ahí está el otro fierro, hay que traernos los dinos.
Oye, bueno, uno. Y...
Sorry for the sunspots. The time change isn't making filming that much easier than I thought it would be. So I just really wanted to talk about how my March went, give some updates for my own sake, I guess. And yeah, I was really busy all of March. I did not read anything for funsies whatsoever. I barely even read, honestly, even my class assignment books, only because I was just really focused on my thesis at the beginning of the month. So that means I'm done writing, I'm done researching, I'm done editing, and now the last steps is for the committee to read it. Around the same time that that thesis format was due, I also had to turn in another assignment for my actual class, so I was basically doubling up on work. And then I had my spring break. But this last week, again, didn't do our school reading, and I have just been taking it a little slow. So the first thing that actually happened was the week of my presentation. So the first big major change that I want to mention is that my sisters finally moved out of the apartment. I don't know if I've mentioned this in any of my other vlogs, but our lease was going up, so we had to move out. They are still in the middle of reviewing my sister's application for her own studio apartment. So while my sister that I originally lived with moved in with her boyfriend, my other sister moved back home with us and brought the darling baby with her. That is a nice little change that I get to live with my darling girl again. She is a nice refreshing change in my routine, I'm not gonna lie, but my cat is pretty jealous of her, so I think that little dynamic is pretty hilarious. But overall, it's really cool. It's nice to live with my sister again and everything, but I'm definitely more excited about her. I picked up my cap and gown yesterday, so that's also very exciting. That actually means that, you know, graduation day is getting a lot closer. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. I have one more essay to turn in apart from my thesis, and as soon as I get that feedback from my reading committee, I'm going to be able to turn that in way sooner than the actual final due date, which is the goal, because I do not want to work on my final class essay at the same time as turning in my thesis. That would just be way too chaotic for my brain. And finally, the biggest thing, I guess, that happened to me in March is the fact that I got accepted into the PhD program, and I'm just so excited. I guess, okay, to tell you the truth, I don't think I've officially processed this big information change situation, especially because I'm still in the middle of trying to end my first grad degree, my master's degree. So it's like my brain still wants to focus on that. I just think it's really amazing that I actually got accepted. I definitely realized that I've been selling myself short in a sense, because, you know, I have no experience out there in the real world. I've been working in an office for 10 plus years that I don't know what I could do outside of that. And Just the fact that my writing sample, my letter, and my letters of recommendations were strong enough to accept me by that, also accept me with my lack of of a resume, that it just seems amazing, you know? I did work really hard during this degree to keep my GPA pretty high, and luckily it is, especially considering that I got diagnosed with ADHD in the beginning of the program. So the first semester wasn't really that fun, as you can say. And I'm not saying that my PhD program is going to be easier, but it is definitely going to be a lot more manageable now that I'm able to come into this degree, being diagnosed, having not only the medication to help me, but also the coping mechanisms and other tools that I have to help me deal with my ADHD, to just have like a smooth up and down but smooth sailing type of journey. I don't even know what I'm saying. I'm just really excited and I'm really nervous. And I can't wait to start, but also yikes. And that also means that because I didn't know if I was going to get into the program, I was already kind of preparing myself to find a job over the summer. My goals for the summer is to just fully invest my energy into this YouTube channel as a way to let my creativity flow, and also to distract myself from the fact that I'm going into the PhD program. Basically, not to overwhelm myself. In a good way. It's not that I don't want to do this. I wouldn't have applied if I didn't want to do this. That is what basically happened this month. It was pretty uneventful, like I mentioned. My room's a mess, like always. But there were its little highlights, specifically with this baby cheeks over here. And here's hoping for April. I know technically I am posting this on April Fools, but there is no joke here. I am going to be a doctoral candidate for English literature in August. And that is pretty cool. That is pretty amazing. So, if you liked this little recap episode and are interested in seeing how my April goes, maybe consider subscribing, hitting a little like, and I will hopefully see you in the next one. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your time zone.